If you're anything like me, you're going to be very excited to try out the new Centenary Driving Range here at Edmunds Golf Club. So come with me as I have a little practice session, and we're going to go through a few of the data points, a few of the key numbers, and a few of the ways you can make your practice more interesting. Before you head up to the range, make sure you've got your gold card activated to make sure you get your members' prices on your golf balls. If you're not a member, just use your credit card to access the golf balls. The other thing you're going to need to make sure that you do is download the Trackman app. The app looks like this, and it can be found in App Store on Android or Google Play. If you download the app, that means you can track all of your data from all of your practices forevermore. And also, if you set up your clubs in your bag in the Edit My Bag section, then all of the clubs that you use in your bag are going to be ready to access when you head up to the driving range. I've activated my gold card, I've downloaded my Trackman app, I've accessed my bag and edited the clubs in there. Now I'm ready to walk through the door. Once you go through the doors, check there's a bay free for you and head to the left to collect your golf balls. The black reader at the bottom left hand side of the display is where you present your gold card. It will beep and you can select your golf balls. You can either have a 25 ball warm-up bucket or a full 50 ball practice bucket. Select your quantity and away you go. Once you've selected your balls and got to your bay, open your Trackman app and you'll see this quick login button at the bottom. That will open the QR code reader on your phone, so your camera, and then all you do is you show that camera the bay that you're in, the QR code in the corner, it will connect and away you go. Once you are connected, you're going to be presented with a screen showing your login name and welcome to your practice. You're then going to come across this screen, which is going to be a familiar starting point for you. To start with today, we're going to talk about practice on the left hand side here and then range practice. This is going to be where you're going to spend most of your time initially when you come to the driving range. It's essentially a virtual simulation of our range here, and there are a key couple of things you need to do before you get started. First things first, you need to pick a target so the machine knows where you're aiming. Now we have 5 targets here at Berry. You've got 2 red, 2 blue and 1 black. You can see them out in the range here. Now this will tell the system where you are aiming in terms of direction, and also you can use it for distance as well. Decided to start on the left hand blue target as that's where it sits nicely in bay 2 for me, but you can press the target button at any time to change your target. The next thing you need to do when you're in practice mode is to tell the system what club you're hitting. That will ensure every time you hit a ball that will register against that club in your app. So I've chosen a 9-iron, and then you press the convert button here and that converts the data into as if you were hitting a premium golf ball, which is definitely what you want to see. Let's go ahead and hit a shot and see what data we receive. So in range modes, you're going to see the flight of the ball. You can track it here in the air and then it will land and give you some data on the left hand side. So let's go through those ball data numbers one by one. Top left hand side, you can see the word carry. That is where the first bounce would be. So the ball was in the air for 150 yards before it bounced. Total distance then is with the run out, so how far the ball has finished, giving me that overall number. Moving down, the next number is ball speed, and that is how fast the ball has left the club. Striking the ball out of the middle of the club face will really affect this number, and you'll see a big drop off on any miss hits. As a general rule, you should see about 5 to 7 miles an hour difference per club, obviously going up in number as you go up in club. So driver should leave the club face faster than a 9-iron. The next number you will see is height, so the peak height of the ball flight. This metric is measured in feet, and believe it or not, you don't want to see too much of a disparity across the clubs in your bag. Around about 10 to 12 feet is about tour average for the difference between all clubs in the bag, so you shouldn't be seeing big differences in here. Obviously miss hits are going to change the peak height, but on good hits you want this number to be fairly similar across the bag. The next number you can see is launch angle, and this is the number of degrees the ball has left the floor on. Now, as again a general rule, with irons you want this number to be below 30 degrees, gradually going down as you go through the irons in your bag. So aiming for around about 30 degrees of launch angle with your wedges, going down by maybe sort of 3 to 6 degrees per club as you go down. So you can see I've launched this 9-iron 22.5, quite happy with that. The next number is launch direction, and this is the number of degrees left or right your ball has started relative to your target. This is a super important number because we do want to be having that number as low as possible, so we are starting the ball as close to our target line as possible. Now obviously if you have a big curve on your golf ball, you're going to allow for that, but as a general rule, let's try and get this ball started as close to the target as possible. That launch direction number can then be used in conjunction with the carry side number, which is going to give you a number in feet again this time where the ball is finished left or right of your target line. So you can see from this shot my ball has started 3.9 degrees right of target, but then finished 16 foot left of target. So obviously my ball is curving right to left in the air. Again, if you keep an eye on patterns, this will help you see and identify better ball flight curves and ideas when you then go out on the golf course. The final number is from pin, so that is how far my ball has finished away from the flag that is in that blue target. Now the blue target is 133 yards away and I've hit my ball 155 yards. So I was using the blue target as a line for direction as opposed to distance. I could then practice and move down to my wedges if I really wanted to dial in my 135, 130 yard shot and try and get that number from the pin as low as possible. Once you've hit a few shots, you can come down and click the view button, and that's going to give you a couple of different options. You've either got the top view or you've got the data table view. Now the top view is really good because it's going to show you the dispersion, so after you've hit a few shots, how close your balls are to carrying and how close your balls are to landing to each other. The other view that you want to use is the data view, and that's going to give you shot by shot all of those data points we just discussed, so you can start to see any patterns or any commonalities or discrepancies. Well, that pretty much covers the basic driving range setup. So now let's look at some of the other practice things you can do. So first of all, we're going to go into practice again, and then we're going to go to map my bag. And this is going to give you a way of figuring out how far each of your clubs go. Now today, I'm just going to test my 9-iron. I'm going to pick my target, which once again for me is going to be that left-hand blue target. I can hit a few warm-up shots if I like before I start, but I'm quite happy. So let's go straight in and hit some 9-irons. When you are using the map my bag function, you're going to be presented with this display. You're going to see the ball flight going down the middle towards your target, then you're going to get a number on the left hand side, which is your carry number. Now it's super important that you go ahead and press that convert button. That's going to give you that real ball data. So let's hit a few more 9-irons and see my patterns. You need to hit a minimum of 7 shots to gain a good enough data bank to give it an average, and you can always delete some of these shots if you're not happy. So let's just hit 7 and see what it comes up with. You can see here down the left hand side my carry numbers for today, and then if you look in the middle you can see the big green tick. If you tick that, that then downloads all of that data to your app. So your app will then show your carry distances for each club. This is super useful information to have so that every time you're on the golf course you can make better informed decisions about which club to use. Okay, then onwards. Let's go into a different area now. So we're going to go practice and then on-course practice. I really like this function within the Trackman. We're going to use Wentworth West course, and we have the ability on our Trackman range to drop a golf ball at any point on any of these golf courses and actually start to see whether we are hitting our targets or not. So once you've signed in, you're going to open it up and you're going to choose the hole. Now I'm going to choose the 18th at Wentworth, and I'm going to go ahead and hit some shots into the green. So again, first of all, we're going to choose our target. Now, like I said before, I quite like this left-hand blue target for me, and I'm hitting irons out of bay 2, and you're going to be presented with this first screen here. Now it's automatically going to default to the tee shot, but if you click on this place ball icon down the left hand side, you're going to go ahead and choose exactly where you want to hit your shot from. So looking at my data from my 9-iron, from my practice and my map my bag, I'm going to want to be just under 150 yards from the flag. So I'm going to press on the map on the right hand side and take me in and keep tapping on the map until I'm happy with my distance, which is on the bottom left hand side, 146 yards to the flag I'm good with, and we'll press the done button to secure that in and start hitting shots. One of the things I really like about the on-course practice mode is you're going to get the visual of where the ball's flying. You've also got this dotted line in the middle on the right hand side which follows your golf ball onto target, and then you can see where it's actually finished. So my ball there, a bit of a pull, but finished on the left hand side of the green. Again, you're also going to get all of your nice golf ball data points just like you do in range mode, so you can keep a check on those metrics, and then you can just repeat and you can keep hitting that shot time after time. So again, you can follow the dot on the right hand side as it goes on. I haven't quite caught that one, but it's finished on the front of the green. So again, a shot that I might not have been happy with has actually turned out all right. Again, this one's quite a good one, finishing on the green. And then the last one here, I really thought that I'd pull, and it's probably a shot that I wouldn't have been that happy with looking at it on the blank range mode. And even when I left the club face knowing that there's water down the left-hand side of this 18th, I was a bit worried, but it's actually finished up all right. So there we go, you keep hitting shots, you can see the pattern on the right hand side of balls where they're finished, and when you're happy you just press change hole. When you finish your session, make sure that you click the end session button and confirm. This will send the information to your Trackman app and also let the driving range bay be available for the next person in line. Well, there we go. I hope that gives you a few ideas of the data points you're going to likely to see on the Trackman range here at Bury St Edmunds Golf Club. If you want more information, drop me a comment and I'll do a part 2 with some of the fun games.